Welcome to Glorious Botafogo, your number one source of Botafogo news in English. And I just don't know what to say. The last two games have been really pathetic. The lack of urgency really bothers me coming from Ancelotti and his bench. The inability to motivate players and the inability to extract what you can from players that honestly, you want to compare the work of Ancelotti and Renato Paiva. Paiva was very poor, yes. He had better players, so let's give that to Ancelotti, I guess. Doesn't have Gregory, which after Gregory came out of this team, there is no defensive consistency coming from this club. Yes, we had Igor Jesus, and now we have Arthur Cabral, which I am not convinced. I'm not convinced that Arthur Cabral is that guy. And then we have players that started to show like Santi, but the games against Grêmio, Mirassol, São Paulo, and Fluminense, and Vasco, what are we supposed to extract from that? Because I don't know if Ancelotti is able to see everything from the pitch. Fluminense changed the tactics. Ancelotti didn't do anything. Vasco, Ancelotti didn't have a clue. He's over there sitting on the bench looking at his iPad. I don't know what he's doing. Is he watching the game? Is he playing Clash of Titans? What is he doing looking at that iPad? He's going to look at artificial intelligence to tell him to substitute a player. It's been the joke on, the meme on Twitter and all the social media pages. I just don't know. And I haven't been able, so gotta be honest, I haven't been able to watch Botafogo Mirassol, Botafogo Grêmio, and Botafogo Fluminense. I kind of saw a little bit of Botafogo and Fluminense today from my phone, but it's hard to pay attention, right? There's things going on around you and you watch it on your phone. But even from me watching the match through a phone, I could tell that Vitinho was suffering on the right side. Suffering. Zubeldia came, he couldn't beat Botafogo with São Paulo, and then Fluminense couldn't beat Botafogo. And now the two of them got together and they were able to. So even the coaches like Carlos Heria and Lucio Flávio were able to beat Fluminense. And our Libertadores run is under serious threat. Botafogo will play Bahia and Internacional. Bahia today beat Palmeiras 1-0. Bahia today have the exact 40 points that Botafogo has. And then we will play Internacional, which is fighting close to the relegation zone. We will play Bahia away and Bahia at home and Internacional away. I'm not expecting to see a big crowd Wednesday, 9:30 at night at the Newton Santos. 5,000 will be a lot. Why? The team hasn't been showing anything. The team hasn't shown especially coming from the bench, we don't see anything. It's hard to even come over here and talk about it. How am I supposed to talk about something that I don't see? And then quite literally, I haven't been able to watch the games, but I do my research. I don't come over here just talking out of my ass. I do my research. I know that Botafogo's possession has been going down and down and down with every match. We haven't created anything. We don't take shots on goal. It's like what I tell the U14 team that I train. If we don't take shots on goal, we don't score. If we're not taking shots on goal, something's happening. We're not creating the chances to take those shots on goal. So what do? I work on chance creation scenarios throughout the week. And if that doesn't work, something has got to change. So in this scenario, if the coach is not able to make those changes at a level of the Brasileiro, of the Serie A professional football, then why keep him? And now we look at the market. Who do we have to replace? Ancelotti. We're not going to get a guy from Europe. That'd be suicide. We're going to lose the Libertadores spot. We need somebody that knows what's going on with Brazilian football. And to be quite honest, that name right now, in my opinion, the best one is Caçapa. Is the guy that's already there, that knows Brazilian football and that knows the players that he has. Anyone other than that is just suicide. I don't know who else we could get at this point with the Brasileirão is over on let me look here. The Brasileirão is over December 7th when we play Fortaleza at home. We have a match on October 7th. So from October 7th to December 7th, roughly 2 months to try to keep this Libertadores spot. I just don't know, man. On Friday to Saturday, YouTube banned my account for some reason. And I was able to send an email to YouTube and contest an appeal. And they actually kind of quickly on Saturday reinstated my channel because we didn't do anything wrong. But that got in the way of us streaming on Friday. And Friday seems to be the only day I can actually stream this. So we'll probably have to push this to next Friday. So hopefully next Friday we will be able to stream on this channel and then, talk about Botafogo and what's happening, talk about the match on Wednesday, and just kind of hang out and have some fun. Since Botafogo has been knocked out of every other competition that we were competing, there's nothing else going on during the week except for the Brasileirão, and that will be Wednesday. There's also things happening, behind the scenes with Eagle Football. John Texter trying to get closer to Christopher Mellon. Eagle Football saying that John Texter saying that there's no more fights going on and things are being friendly. They are alleging that he's, doing that to slow things down. So it seems like this John Texter, Christopher Mellon, and Eagle Football fight is far from over, which is not good news for us. We need this to be over ASAP because according to some of the reports, Eagle Football is ready to start is ready to reinvest money and to help Botafogo compete. And with John Texter in power, that is not going to happen unless a solution is met. We don't know what's going on with Marinakis and John Texter. Things kind of have, they've been kind of quiet behind the scenes. We haven't really heard much of anything except for apparently John Texter's trying to play this smoke and mirrors game. Meanwhile, Eagle Football is trying to resolve the issue without Texter. So that is right now what's happening behind the scenes. But really, nobody really knows what's going on, to be quite honest. Botafogo and Bahia at 7:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time, Wednesday, October 1st. Botafogo needs to pull out a win to stop Bahia in its tracks, because if we don't, Bahia will surpass us and we will get stuck with 40 points in the Brasileirão.